Good morning, softball fans. Welcome back to Kitchener, Ontario, and the Peter Holman Ball Yard and the U23 Men's Canadian Fast Pitch Championship. Kyle Smith, Joe Todd here with you for Championship Sunday. 2 games to go, C5 and C6. It's Saskatchewan's Delisle Pride taking on the Nova Scotia Selects here in the bronze medal game. It'll be Nick White who leads things off here for Nova Scotia. He takes in for strike one. For Nova Scotia, it's Nick White, Alex Melanson, Brody Frazier, 1, 2, 3 in the order. Braden Woodworth bats 4th. Nathan Peters, the 5-hitter. Cam Weatherby bats 6th. 7-hitter is Evan Tilley. Tyler Payne and Caleb Eisner round out the batting order. For Delisle Pride, the defense, it goes Rhett Bernard, Ryan Bicknell, Ethan Sommerfelt left to right across in the outfield. Tom Norris, Will Major, Caden Fadick, and Evan Young on the infield left to right. Max Major behind the plate as he has been all week long. And Troy Premack back on the mound today for Delisle. Bringing in my broadcast partner, Joe Todd. Joe, the Blue Crew for this morning.
Yes, at home plate is Troy Schwartz. First base is Dave Thompson. Second is Martin Robitaille. And at third base, Jeff Banzella.
And Joe, as we get set for Championship Sunday, Delisle coming off that tough loss to Newfoundland yesterday. They look to turn the page and reset for today.
Nova Scotia's on a little bit of a roll here too, Kyle, if you consider that they're 4-0 since Friday morning.
That ball put in play by White. It's over in time at first to retire the speedy leadoff man. 1 down. We're off and running here at 10:55. Call it a 10:53 first pitch. Joe called it a 10:55, folks, just so you know. I know, but we're 1 batter in. First pitch would have been 10:53.
Yeah, you're right. 4.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes are huge. As that ball catches an edge, a little look back from the number 2 hitter, Alex Melanson, here for Nova Scotia. You talked about it, Joe. Nova Scotia turned the page on Friday, and they've rode into the playoffs and now into Championship Sunday, now on a 4-game win streak.
Playing with a little bit of confidence. Confidence is a big asset.
That rise ball misses for a ball up in the zone. And for Troy Premack, coming off of yesterday against Newfoundland, it was in the first inning that Newfoundland came out swinging. And before you knew it, it was 3-0.
Yeah, 4 consecutive batters. Just turned that whole game around.
One-two count. As that ball gets lifted up, it's going to find its way out of play over on the left side. Premack was named as the top pitcher in the qualifying round. As the count stands, 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Nova Scotia looks to get on track. Open things up. That ball put in play, little soft roller again, this time over to second. Back-to-back plays for Caden Fadick to start off the ball game.
That's what you want, that ball hit to you right off the hop. Get in the game.
And if it does get hit to you, make some nice routine clean plays.
Yeah, nice bounces.
Steady as she goes. Premack back to work. That ball misses down and away. Brody Frazier comes to the plate here for Nova Scotia as they look to stake claim to a Canadian championship at the U23 level for the first time since 2011. Back then it was the Halifax Murphys Fish and Chips. 1 hop knocked down and taken to first the short way by Evan Young. Up and down they go, Nova Scotia. Nice quiet inning for the Saskatchewan defense. As we turn the page and head to the bottom half of the first, Joe Todd will run down the batting order for the Delisle Pride.
Batting first, the shortstop, Will Major. Batting second, the center fielder, Ryan Bicknell. Following by the catcher, Max Major. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Ethan Sommerfeld. Batting fifth, the designated player, Charles Leclerc. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Evan Young. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Tom Norris. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Caden Fadak. Batting ninth, the left fielder, Rhett Bernard.
Defensively for Nova Scotia, they do the old switcheroo on the lineup card. DP flex switch, dropping down to 9. Brody Frazier will get the start. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Braden Woodworth, Nick White, Cam Weatherby left to right across in the outfield. Alex Melanson at short at third. Nathan Peters and Tyler Payne up the middle. Evan Tilley over at first base. Caleb Eisner behind the plate. And it is Brody Frazier, the designated player today, getting the start. Saw Frazier last night, Joe, in the round-out game. Through an efficient ball game. Had to get back up late in the game just in case Nick ran into some trouble to close things out against Wyerton, but wasn't needed. But for his outing yesterday, looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, he pitched very well. Kept the ball right in that strike zone. Kept the Wyerton bats fairly controlled. Threw a lot of pitches on the sideline, just as you said.
Something to keep your eye on today as we roll around is we've seen lots of pass balls and wild pitches play into a little bit of the ball games here this weekend, at least since you and I were here yesterday. We've saw probably, I'd say, 5 balls get passed and cost some runs to teams that otherwise you'd like to have back. I know Wyerton, Matt Weiler would probably like that one that he couldn't gather up in time last night, but there's been a handful of those and some errors, that untimely mistakes that we've seen factor into some ball games this week.
And those mistakes cost you runs. When you get to this level of play, Canadian Championships, mistakes like that end up coming back and haunting you.
The shortstop, number 7,
Will Major will step to the plate. He'll lead things off here for Delisle Pride. First pitch swinging, he puts that out into play, drops it in front of the right fielder Cam Weatherby, and Delisle comes out swinging here early. First pitch, base hit for Will Major.
Good punch right out. Good quick hands there. Good follow through, Will Major.
Bunt down. Melanson thought about second, and he held the bag long enough. Diving for that ball did Tyler Payne, and we're going to have a quick conversation here between the third base coach and Dave Thompson, our first base umpire. And it is a quick one. So runner at second. That one buzzes inside. We'll bring Max Major to the plate, Joe, who was named the qualifying round MVP. Has had a whale of a week here for Delisle.
Good steady stick there at the plate.
He'll turn on that one down the line. Foul. And Nick Need has begun his warm-ups.
Beautiful day here in Kitchener, 23 degrees. Nice west wind coming in.
That ball sent out to left center. Goodbye, home run. 290 for Max Major. It's a quick 2-0 lead.
Great jump to get out like that on that big home run by Max Major. Good start here for Delisle Pride.
Such a compact swing, right short through it and met it and drove that ball. It landed on the warning track out on the beyond the home run fence here. So that's a well-struck ball here on a 300-foot deep fence, permanent fencing at the Hallman Ball Yard. As that gets in for ball one. It's Ethan Sommerfeld, one of the all-stars from the qualifying round. He'll appear at the plate for his first time up. And in for called a strike, 1-1. Joe, a similar start here for Delisle. That Newfoundland had against them yesterday afternoon, early and often swinging away here.
Tables have been turned here.
As Brody Frazier looks to reset. Nice off-speed pitch down and away from the right-hander. Gets Sommerfeld out in front.
Sommerfeld was 1 for 3 in the game against Murno yesterday. Had a really good week at the batting.
Since you brought it up, 474 average, 9 hits, 8 RBI, a triple for Ethan Sommerfeld on the week, on his way to being named that infield all-star. Count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Infield all-star, and you're playing the outfield for here. Semi-final game. Tough to knock out of the lineup.
Off the hands, and Peters nice and tidy over to first base to get Sommerfeld 6-3. 2 down, and Charles Leclerc will appear at the plate for the first time. Charles had a rough go yesterday at the plate for Delisle. He'd like to turn the page and look to the new day. He'll get into that one on the first pitch. That's back over into left field, and Braden Woodworth makes the catch to end the inning. But for Delisle Pride, they push across 2 runs on the 2-run shot by Max Major. They lead it 2-0 after the first.
Due up at the top of the second, Woodward, Peters, and Weatherly.
Braden Woodworth will lead things off here for Nova Scotia in the top half of the second inning. Woodworth Peters Weatherby due to the plate.
Woodworth was 2 for 4 in the Wyerton game with a double.
He likes the first pitch he sees, but he'll lay it foul. Premack works off speed. Nice change up there, Joe.
Yeah, first time he's seen it. Good to show it to everybody now, and then just keep it. Those batters have to keep that in their back pocket.
Definitely want to plant that seed early as that ball goes up and out for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nice to see a couple of the players starting to mill about from some of the teams that have been eliminated. As that ball gets foul over on the left side. It's going to be a hot and warm day here in Kitchener. But bright blue skies to be had, and
they have been blessed with the weather since Tuesday.
There's been some precipitation go around them at times as well. 2-0 Delisle leads here in the top half of the second inning. That ball gets fouled off. Woodworth battling. Seeing lots of pitches this at bat as the count stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Nova Scotia got to find a quick reply.
That one down on strikes.
Number 4, Nathan Peters.
Nathan Peters now, he'll come to the plate. Premack fires that one high and wide. 4, 5, 6 hitters here in the second for Nova Scotia. Peters has played a whale of a shortstop yesterday and through the duration of the week. That one comes inside, will go as a foul ball. Comes back with it, took a bit off, knocked down by Will Major. It bounces away from him, but kept it on the infield as that ball was a hard hit one to his left, or rather right. Skated over and got a glove to it as Cam Weatherby now stands at the plate here. He'd like to break out. Cam, part of that national team that was in Hermosillo back in November. As that one catches an edge just right on belt high on Weatherby. That one travels out of the zone. Ball 1. For Weatherby, lots of movement in the box. Footwork dancing, hands dancing. Just trying to settle in. Then he comes set. And that one paints the edge. Called strike 3. Looking Weatherby down on strike. Second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the day and here in the inning. As Evan Tilley now will come to the plate.
Evan 1 for 2 in that Wyerton Red Devils game with 2 walks. Got a good eye at the plate.
He takes inside corner as our home plate umpire, Mr. Schwartz, Troy Schwartz, sets his boundaries of the zone. Tilley gets into that. That'll sliding on his knees, catches that ball just before it hits the grass. Coming in to make that catch.
Great grab. Read it right off the bat. Picked up the final out of the inning. Great grab there.
Second inning, there was 1 hit with 1 runner left on base.
Bottom half of the second inning, Delisle sends to the plate Evan Young, Tom Norris, and Caden Faduk here to face Brody Frazier. Delisle out in front, 2-0, Joe. Single and then a home run by Max Major.
Good to get a good jump early in the game.
That one falls in for ball 1. The other thing we talked about yesterday, and I'm sure will prevail as today goes on, but a lot of times some of these pitchers falling behind in the counts, making it a little bit harder on themselves where it not necessarily needed. Shake that arm loose. 1-1. Nice pitch there as it gets into the dirt. Swing and miss by Evan Young.
That first pitch strike is such an important pitch. Just sets up your whole sequence.
Brody works. 1-2. That ball gets lifted up out to right field. Over comes Weatherby, and he'll make the catch for out number 1.
Out, the batter is now third baseman number 6, Tom Norris.
Tom Norris now stands at the plate. That ball gets fouled off. Frazier looks in, works 0-1. That ball sent skyward. Weatherby gives chase back towards the fence. It's going to carry. Goodbye, home run. for Tom Norris. Looks a little stunned himself as that ball carried and got out of here. He was at second by the time they told him it was a home run.
That ball got up in the jet stream and just kept carrying and carrying. You would have thought outfielder Weatherby had a really good shot at carrying that ball. He had his eye on the ball and it just kept moving.
Off the bat, Joe, I thought that was just going to be a routine fly ball. As that ball got up, went up, and Weatherby started going back, and he kept going, and before you knew it, he was at the fence. And that ball was beyond, as now it's 3-0 for Delisle here in the bottom of the second inning on two big smashes from Max Major and Tom Norris.
Nick Need is back warming up again, but kind of surprised that Fraser's kind of still in there. You don't want to fall behind too far.
That one wasn't necessarily a well-struck ball. I think, like you said, it just kind of got up a little bit and carried. The humidity really hasn't settled in yet, so that ball's going to get up and travel well. With the bat technology, I mean, just as we saw there, off the bat, I thought it was just a fly ball, but it kept drifting and drifting as that one goes into the dirt for ball two. But I agree with your comment, though. This one can't get too far down the road before you'd have to make a change to Need. But like to see Brody battle as that one gets onto the plate for called a strike. It's Caden Fadek at the plate here for Delisle. 2-1 pitch. In for a strike on the outside edge this time. So we're setting the boundaries, and Fadek really doesn't appreciate that call from the home plate umpire. Two. Eisner sets in, goes down and gets it to foul it off and stay alive. As a hitter, you hate those in and out pitches, but when you're on defense, you'd love for your guy to get that call. A tale of two stories. And called strike three, and Fadek just puts his hands up in the air and says, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. As now 2 down in the inning. So Rhett Bernard will stride to the plate. And open it up for strike one. Fraser settling back in after the home run from Norris. As I said, not necessarily one of those well-struck balls that you knew off the bat as Brody's working here. Nick Need, the righty, warming up in the bullpen. As that one grazes inside ball two, and already those landing holes, landing craters, if you will, are starting to appear. When Brody lands, you lose about his whole length of his ankle as that ball shoots out on the right side for a base hit. Out on the 3.5 side for Rhett Bernard. Single out of the 9-hole, Joe. Turn the order over for Delisle Pride. And here comes Jeff Fraser out to the mound. I think, Joe, this may do it for Brody.
I would think so. And Nick Need has been turning up the gas about the last 10 pitches. So
that will indeed do it for Brody Fraser. He exits stage right. Nick Need will come on in relief after this. You're watching the U23 men's Softball Canadian Championship right here in Kitchener, Ontario at the Peter Hellman Ball Yard on Conestoga Digital TV Network.
Now pitching for Nova Scotia, number 9, Nick Mead.
Back to work as Nick Need fires first pitch strike. He'll face Will Major. Trying to shut the door here in the second. Major gets into that one in a major way. Goodbye home run. Will Major. He's seen 3 pitches. He's 2 for 2. And now, with a 2-run shot, it's 5-0 Delisle.
Great start here for Delisle Pride. 3 home runs, first 2 innings off of 2 different pitchers. 5 hits so far in the game. 5 runs. My biggest concern, Nova Scotia in their 2 victories yesterday only had 4 hits in each game, so got a big comeback. Gonna need a real big comeback.
Time is on their side, only being the bottom of the second inning. We've seen some deficits get erased here this weekend, Joe. But this one of the bigger ones, is that one finds a hole out into center field, and everything Delisle's doing right now is leading to a base hit.
They have their Sunday morning hitting shoes on.
Scoreboard says 7-0, but it is just 5-0. Could that be a little foreshadowing here with Max Major coming to the plate? He had a 2-run shot back in the first inning. And you want to talk about that 7-0 lead. for Delisle, if they can get out of here with a limited amount of innings played, that would bode well as they get set for what would be the gold medal game, as that one into the dirt and to the backstop for a ball. Safe to say Delisle has turned the page from yesterday.
Well, other than that first inning yesterday was a real good ball game.
That ball, nice play
Good pickup
on the right side by Tyler Payne, coming across towards first base, and he gloves that one up. And a little flip to first will end it, but 3 runs pushed across to make it 5-0. The 2 big swings by Norris and Major. It's 5-0 for the Delisle Pride.
Delisle Pride, 5 runs. Nova Scotia selects no runs. Leading off the top of the 3rd inning, Nova Scotia selects the second baseman, number 91, Tyler Payne. Nice ball on deck.
Top half of the 3rd here. Tyler Payne will lead things off. Little show me slap bunt. Running through the box, takes for a ball.
Nova Scotia has to nibble away now. Pick up a run here, a run there. Try and get back in this game.
Definitely need that response, Joe. Even just a little bit of an extended inning. Just find a way for a ball to fall in. Nathan Peters had one. Once you see that ball falling in for base hits, it really goes a long way just resetting and getting you refocused as this game wears on.
Hitting is contagious.
As that one paints the corner for called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As that ball goes top side out of the zone. That ball put in play. There's a base hit on the right side for Tyler Payne. He'll start it off here with that leadoff single.
Now batting the catcher, number 88, Caleb Eisenhower, right on deck.
As Caleb Eisner now stands at the plate.
Very deep in the batter's box.
In for strike 1, opens it up. turning to bunt his way on. That ball goes foul. Quick 0-2 count here for Premack as he looks to settle back in. Called strike 3 on that outside corner. Got him looking. Third strikeout.
Just have to be aggressive with 2 strikes. Anything close to that ball. You're down 5 runs. Put the ball in play.
Well, I mean, the home plate umpire has shown that he's going to call that corner, as Nova Scotia has benefited from it. This time it's Delisle and Troy Premack who takes advantage of that outside corner. Nick White now at the plate. He'll foul that one off, just off the end of his bat. Five-tool guy is Nick White. Hits for power, contact, runs, field, plus arm. And at such a young age, his future looks so bright, Joe.
Yes.
Talking with Mike Brancho yesterday in that interview, we talked about Nick White and how he really turned some heads with the national team run here in June. In July.
5-tool player. He's got it all.
Straight up they go in the outfield, working on those dead patches of grass that they've worn down this week, have the outfielders. Shows you the true sign of a tournament with no rain is those patches of grass that wear down after everybody's been standing there for 5 to 7 days. As White, little flare out into right field. That falls in for a base hit. Had to hold up. Did Tyler Payne to make sure that was in. Got the read and was off and running. So starting to string together some base knocks here is Nova Scotia. Good sign here for the Selects as they look to have some sort of response after giving up 5 in the first 2 innings. As we said, Joe, just looking to have a response. A run or 2 here will go a very long way.
Yeah, psychologically, it just means a lot. You're back in the game, you scored a run, you can hit this guy.
That ball's going to fall in for a base hit right in front of Rhett Bernard. He'll come up throwing to third, and Nova Scotia opens up their ledger with a run. Now make it 5-1. You said it, Joe. Hitting becomes contagious, and right now Nova Scotia just handing the bat from batter to batter here in the third.
3 hits so far in this inning. All singles, but putting the ball in play. Bat on ball.
So now Brody Fraser at the plate. He grounded out in the first. As that ball gets to the outside, and Nick White's taken 60 feet as that ball went back to the pitcher. No one really paying attention.
That's crucial with just 1 out. Get a long fly ball now. Can score on a sacrifice.
And with his speed, it doesn't have to even be very deep. As that ball goes up at a play. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Frazier on the outside corner chasing. 2 down in the inning. And Braden Woodworth now will come to the plate. Premack, he'll work. That ball lifted up and out of play. Chance here for Nova Scotia to draw another one with Nick White at third. Alex Melanson over at first on that RBI single. There he goes. He's going to just trot down to second, trying to draw a throw. And Woodworth falling behind 0-2. Now a base hit, Joe, would likely score 2.
Yeah, this is crucial right here, big time.
Swing and a miss on the rise ball. Woodworth down on strikes. Strand 2, but all important push across, 1 run. Cut the lead down to 4. It's 5-1 Delisle as we head to the bottom half of the third here in Kitchener.
Up in the bottom of the third inning for the Bryant. Right fielder number 16, Summerfield. On deck to the fourth.
Bottom half of the third as we step back in here at the U23 Men's Canadian Championship. Kyle Smith, Joe Todd here with you, along with our friends from Conestoga College. Nick Need back to work. He opens for strike 1. It's Ethan Sommerfeld, Charles Leclerc, and Evan Young who will come to the plate. That one misses inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Need back to work. Swing and a miss on a rise there for strike 2. One-two count, off speed, back up the middle. Payne over and got him in time at first. Just by half a step, Sommerfeld down 4-3. Payne went a long way to go and get that ball.
Played some good defense there at second base.
This middle infield of Payne and Peters has played clean here this week, as that bunt attempt goes foul by Charles Leclerc. Charles looking to wake his bat up. Had a walk and 2 strikeouts yesterday against Newfoundland. So he'd like to get an average. Quick 0-2 count here to start. a miss. Strike 3, down on strikes. LeClaire 2 down in the inning, and Nick Need 2 up and down.
Yeah, just starting to find his groove.
Swing and a miss right on through it there by Evan Young. Young flying out back in the second inning to the right fielder. Hits spread throughout the lineup 1 through 9. As that one comes up empty on the drop, 0-2. Two homers at the top of the order by the Major boys, and Tom Norris, the other here this morning. And that rise ball well out of the zone, went chasing and comes up empty. It's an up and down inning for Nick Need, and Nova Scotia sends us to the top half of the fourth here in Kitchener.
Leading off the top of the fourth inning for the Nova Scotia Selects. Shortstop number 4, Nathan Peters. Weatherby on deck.
Let's go, Nathan!
Top half of the fourth, Nathan Peters, Cam Weatherby, and Evan Tilley will come to the plate here for the Selects. Kyle Smith, Joe Todd here with you on a picture-perfect day in Kitchener. As that pitch misses, ball 2, 2-0. Almost time to break out the sunglasses in the press box, Joe, as that sun starts to shift around. 3-0 count. Full compliment to the players this week, dealing with the heat and humidity. As that ball misses inside. It has easily been the hottest and driest week here in Kitchener. I won't say in Ontario because there was lots of rain around the area. Joe talked about it earlier, where it's almost like there was a dome in front of Kitchener that split the rain clouds. But boy, you talk about hot and humid. It was all of that and more this week. I know, talking to some of our East Coast friends, Joe, they were not used to this humidity. As that one goes up out of the zone, and Troy Premack all of a sudden has lost control of the strike zone. Leadoff walk to Peters, and now a 3-0 count here to Weatherby. In for strike 1. Nova Scotia just working their way back, down 4 here in the top half of the fourth. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Nova Scotia. 5 runs, 6 hits for Delisle as that ball gets fouled off. One game to go. It's the big one, the gold medal match later on this afternoon at 1:30 local time. That will feature the Newfoundland Murno Mariners waiting there for the winner of this game. That ball put in play. Navigating around the runner is Fadek. He stays with it. And on to first for out number 1. Evan Tilley now comes to the plate. Runner in scoring position for Nova Scotia. And just chip away here, Joe. Run here in the 4th. Run in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. And before you know it, you're right back in it as that ball gets lifted up. Tilley, little half swing. In comes Bicknell. He'll make the catch, fire it back into second. So 2 down now, and Tyler Payne will come to the plate. Straight up the elevator shaft. Major, he'll call it, and he'll make the catch in the back pedal for the 3rd out. So what looked like a lost strike zone battles back, ground out, and fly out and a pop out. 1-2-3 after the walk to Peters. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th after this. Tom Norris will lead things off as we get back into the bottom half of the 4th inning. Glad to have you along this morning as it's creeping up to the top of the hour and lunchtime. As that ball drops in for a base hit, it's going to get around, and Nick White will cut it off. Feet first slide for Tom Norris. He's got a home run and a double, Joe, here in 2 at-bats.
Having a great day out there. Just punched that ball. Nick White ran a long way for that ball. Picked it up cleanly, holding Norris to that double.
Well, Norris, if he can generate that offense out of the 7-hole, that's a bonus to you on Championship Sunday. Now Caden Fadek at the plate. He struck out looking his first time up, and he goes fishing on that high rise ball. Eisner runs through the signs, turns to bunt, reaches, stabs at it, and comes up empty for strike 2. That's a hard pitch to get down, Joe.
Yeah.
So falls behind 0-2 to start his at-bat. Nick Need quickly, he'll come set. Reaches and fouls it off on the rise. Nothing in 2 here as Feduk looks to put his squad back up by 5.
Seen a drop, seen a rise.
How about a change? Little cue shot right in front of the runner, Peters, but he's not going to be in time as Feduk gets up the line. And he'll leg it out for an infield single.
Good wheels there, going down that line.
Now batting the left fielder, number 12, Bernard. Bill Major on deck.
Make matters a little tougher was Tom Norris cutting across in front of the fielder, Peters. As now we'll see what the defensive setup will be on a 1st and 3rd situation. Nobody down and Delisle in business with runners on the corners. Everyone comes into the conversation. Rhett Bernard at the plate. He had a single back in the 2nd inning. Turns to bunt, pulls back, throw through. They'll take the runner at 2nd. Caught stealing, and standing over at 3rd base is Tom Norris. Nice play there.
Didn't get off the bag, Tom?
Yeah, absolutely. After the conversation, that's what I thought. If they throw through, I bet the situation would have been off and running.
As soon as Feduk left the bag, like halfway point, that guy has to be leaving the bag.
You just got to make sure that ball gets thrown through. That's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, just pass.
And Eisner showed no interest of even that ball was going through and through. And I'll tell you, Joe, the look on Joel Durham kind of after the play was over, he turned and walked sort of away, almost in disbelief. Little push, safety squeeze in for the run. That ball goes right back to the mound and just couldn't get a handle on it as that ball skipped away. The umpire also had called obstruction there, so if Eisner held on to it, that runner would have been safe from 3rd.
What are you giving him? Are you giving him a base hit? Because I think he would have ran that out. Even though it was a fielder's choice, I don't think they would have had him at 1st base. Just the positioning where that ball landed.
To be honest, I wasn't watching when Need picked it up where he was. I was looking at the runner coming home. So let's defer to Game Changer. They called it a fielder's choice. As that ball goes off the end of the bat. You good with that?
Not really. Not in my scoring book.
Will Major at the plate, single and a home run. That ball climbs out of the zone.
Three balls put in play here. bottom of the 4th inning.
Off the hands, roller to first in time. Nice play there by Payne. Again, working around that runner. First time Will Major's been off the bases here this morning, as Ryan Bicknell now comes to the plate. He had a bunt that almost went for a hit after being dragged off the bag, but Tilly was able to hold on to first base and then had a good single back in the 2nd inning. That one got away from Need as it bounces in the dirt. Up and in. Now they got him hung up, and that ball's going to get out to the outfield, but Nick White was coming in on the play, so he's right there to gather it back up. Almost got Rhett Bernard caught between 2nd and 3rd. Need working in a 2-0 count. Misses now 3-0. Bicknell, the 2-hitter.
Probably one of the steady hitters on this Delisle Pride lineup. Just consistent puncher, hits the ball in play. Great eye at the plate, as you just seen, coming up with that walk.
So 2 runners on here, 2 down. Will bring Max Major up to the plate. Max, a home run in the 1st and a ground out.
Intentional walk to Major.
Now batting the right fielder number 16, Ethan Somerville. Contact.
We'll have a temporary runner. Will Major on for Max. Ethan Sommerfeld 0 for 2, knocking on the door here with an opportunity. Good block there by Eisner. Keep that ball in front. Little tap of the chest from Nick Need.
Crucial part of the game right here. Sommerfeld is not an easy out.
Wide stance at the plate. 1-0. In for called strike 1. 1-1.
Good pitch by Need. Even up the count.
Getting his to be sure. Trying to keep this at 5-run deficit. And across for strike 2 for me, Joe, on Sommerfeld. That's got to be a swing.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit more aggressive.
Watching some of the good ones go by and missing the boat. 1-2 pitch from Need coming up. And fouls it off. Spoils that pitch. For Saskatchewan, have to be thinking about the run rule all of a sudden when you're up 5 in the bottom of the 4th. Couple runs in here would get you there. Limit the time in the sun today. Off speed, a roller. Down to first. We'll get out of the inning. Work around the bases loaded jam. Nick Need and Nova Scotia dodge a big bullet. We're headed to the top half of the 5th here. in Kitchener at the U23 Men's Softball Canadian Championship.
Top of the fifth inning for the Nova Scotia Select. The catcher, number 88, Caleb Eisenor. Nick White
Top half of the fifth. Caleb Eisner tries his way on base. That rolls foul. Swing and a miss. And that one climbs out of the zone for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Troy Premack here for Saskatchewan, the Wild Pride. Called strike 3, looking, and Eisner has an extra little look over top of the plate as he walks away for the second time, caught looking. 6 strikeouts for Premack. And to the corner again for call to strike. White this time shakes his head. Climbs the ladder, comes up empty. Called strike 2. Nice pick there as it's into the dirt, 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. White down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Troy Premack. That ball gets fouled off. Joe, a little bullpen session for Simon Melanson down in the right field side. Keep our eye on that. If he should be needed, he gives you a left side look. As Alex puts that to Major. Little hop and throw from Will to end the inning. Up and down quietly here in the 5th. Bottom half coming up. It's 6-1 for Saskatchewan.
they were leading 1-0. I was watching that game. I was watching both. I was watching this game on my phone. Oh, the ditch to the road. But I was watching this game on my phone. I was watching the Kill and Gremlins game on my TV because I could stream it through YouTube. But I couldn't stream it through I tried. I did. I could watch it on my phone, but I wouldn't because I don't have a smart TV, but I have an Apple TV box. And every time I tried to stream it from my phone to my Apple TV box, it wouldn't let me get it. Hey! No, I don't have a
No, Falcon.
Hey, I don't like that game.
Back with you here from Peter Holman Ball Yard and the bottom half of the fifth. Charles Leclerc will lead things off. That one comes inside. He turns away from it. These two were teammates back in November, Nick Need and Charles Leclerc. Straight over off the bat. Look out yonder, Joe, and there's Newfoundland starting to come in to get some batting practice in.
Always like getting to the park early, getting see a little bit of the opposition, get yourself into the game.
That one inside. 2-1. Charles gets into that, but right at left fielder Braden Woodworth for the out. One down, and now Evan Young stands at the plate, but we'll have a pinch hitter here. Rather, Joe, it's Justin Ritchie who will check into the game. So Ritchie's first appearance, he swings and misses.
A nice cloud cover coming in now. Really still keeping the temperature still at 23 degrees. The sun not bearing yet. Supposed to get a lot warmer this afternoon.
As that one goes outside. Ball 2-1. The only problem with some of those clouds sometimes, Joe, with the humidity we've had is some of that other stuff it brings with it, that nonsense.
Yeah. We've seen enough of that this summer.
We have indeed. 2-1. Played in fair territory over to first. Nice job there by Melanson. Across the diamond for the second out. As Tom Norris now comes to the plate. He's got a homer and a double. His bat wakening up here on Sunday. So that one misses, ball one. Falling behind here, Nick Need. Simon Melanson still warming down in the bullpen. A little bit more zip to that pitch, Joe. Buzzes inside from Need, 2-0. For Nova Scotia, it was a tough start before you knew it. 2-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. 3 more in the second and 1 in the fourth. They did dodge a bullet, though, getting out of that jam with the bases loaded. That changeup into the dirt for ball 3.
Nick's just given up 2 runs, 4 hits since he's come in the game.
And there it appears for strike 1 at the knees. (6-1) Delisle Pride in front here in the bottom of the 5th. As that one misses on the top side, and Eisner looks back in a little bewilderment.
You're right, Caleb, you're right.
Caleb now continuing that dialogue from where we sat. That one looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So runner at first, and Caden Fadek, he'll come to the plate. Had a single back his last at bat, struck out looking in the second. That one comes in on the corner for strike 1. Kyle Smith, Joe Todd here with you on Sunday morning. As Fadek gets into that, it'll fall in for a base hit, going coast to coast, throw to second, and put runners on the corners now as Caden Fadek back-to-back singles his last 2 plate appearances.
Getting some great production out of that 7, 8, 9 guy.
Rhett Bernard now comes to the plate. He reached on the controversial fielder's choice and had a single back in the second inning. Swings through it for strike 1. Joe still contests that was a base hit his last time up.
Yes. Not just an automatic if it's fielded and the intent was to get the out.
That's a foul ball. And not by much.
Seven, 8, 9 for Delisle Pride is 6 for 7 with singles. Big power hitting coming out of that bottom part of the order for Delisle.
Swing and a miss on the rise. Down on strikes, Bernard. Leave 2 on. Score remains 6-1 as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Brody Frazier leads things off. He takes for strike one. Brody 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out here today for Nova Scotia. He'd like to get on pace.
You just need somebody to get something on a roll. This top part of the order's been fairly quiet in that 2, 3, 4 spot.
Caught looking. Down on strikes goes Frazier, and 8 now for Troy Premack. He looks to have found his form from the qualifying round, Joe.
Yeah, he's pitched extremely well today. And other than that first inning yesterday against Murno, after that first inning was over with, he only allowed 3 hits after that. 6 hits total in the game. 3 were in the first inning. 3 were in the balance.
Woodworth, he'll send that out to center. Bicknell over, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Nathan Peters now, he'll appear at the plate. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. First pitch up on the infield. Under it, Faduk. He'll make the catch for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 quickly, quietly into the bottom half of the 6th here in Kitchener. Top of the order for Will Major, as that opens for strike 1. Bottom half of the 6th, Joe, and doesn't really need to be said, but I'll say it anyways. Nova Scotia has to hold here to give themselves a chance in the bottom of the 6th. Major is 2 for 3 today. Gets down for it, right to Peters on to first, and good hands play there by Peters. And Joe, I'll say Nathan Peters has shown well on defense here for Nova Scotia in the limited time that we've seen him. Now our 3rd game. He has impressed me here this week.
Very steady, great range, good arm. Reads the ball well off the bat. That's where you can get that jump.
Swing and a miss right through it for Ryan Bicknell.
Shortstop usually has a pretty good advantage of catching that signal from the catcher too, of where that pitch location is hopefully intended. He has a chance to read that off the bat. So key.
Swing and fouled off. It was Delisle at the top of the pool after round robin was done.
5-1 record in pool play.
Ran into a hot-hitting Newfoundland team yesterday that brought their bats and were attacking early. And just kind of like today, Joe, it was almost over before they knew it. And today, Delisle did the exact same thing to Nova Scotia. Came out, scored 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and added 1 in the fourth.
It's been a pretty balanced attack by Delisle Pride offensively by their lineup today. Top of the orders had some great punches. Bottom of the orders come through.
It's really just 4 and 5 hitter, Sommerfeld and LeClaire, that are hitless. That ball, right side, didn't get him on the tag, and Evan Tilley comes up empty. Max Major now stands at the plate. He's got a home run, intentional walk, and a ground out today. That's a full day, Joe.
Yeah.
Line shot through the wickets of Tilley and out to right field, but not far enough for Bicknell to move over to third.
Good hard hit ball there by Major.
Yeah, right on the screws down the line. Tough play there for Tilley. Will bring the aforementioned Ethan Sommerfeld. He's 0 for 3 today. (6-1) Delisle leads. Well, it would just save them 1 inning. They're looking for 2 here to end this ball game early. That ball goes foul on the left side. Just 3 games this week, Joe, have been ended by run rule.
Shows good parity in the program, though.
What? They're,
Saying a hit by pitch?
that's what it appears is being called.
I kind of question that.
I mean, half swing. That, I mean, if anything else, ask for an appeal on the swing, and that would get them back to the bag, back to home plate. So the umpires will gather. They are going to award him first base. So now if I was Nova Scotia, I would ask for a check swing.
Can you do that after the call?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Because if they're awarding it on the hit batsman, then I would ask for a check swing because the swing went halfway around.
That's what I read.
Need the call to happen first as now loaded bases. So Sommerfeld hit by pitch. And the big run is there at second here for Saskatchewan, and Delisle Pride 1 down in the inning, and Charles Leclerc 0 for 3. He'd like to see a base hit with preparation for the next game, should they hang on to win here. Need 1-0, fouled off. Nick back to work, 1-1. That one in for called strike 2.
Good
1
pick
ball,
of a
2
corner.
strikes.
Great pick on that outside corner.
Bicknell at third, Max Major at second, and Sommerfeld over at first base. Leclerc, he'll lift that up over on left field. Will go foul.
No, wait.
1-2 count. Off speed, called,
Great
strike
pitch.
3.
Great pitch. Great call.
The knee buckling changeup there from Nick Need. Just dropped it in for strike 3, and now Evan Young comes to the plate.
5th strikeout for Need since he came in the game.
Trying to work out of this bases loaded jam. Drops another one in there into the dirt for ball 1. For the Delisle Pride, it's been since 2001 that a Saskatchewan team has claimed the gold medal. That ball lifted up into center field. Nick White getting the wave around his major. White to the play at the plate. Not in time. 2 runs in, and it's an 8-1 ball game. Make the final 8-1 for Delisle Pride, as breaking out of his slump, just Evan Young. 0 for 2, 1 for 3 in the game-winning RBIs.
Good consistent hitting by Delisle Pride in this game. 12 hits in the game. Just a pure offensive power.
Well, they struck early and often. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth, now 2 in the sixth to run rule Nova Scotia. And Delisle will get set for the gold medal game coming up next here against the Newfoundland Murno Mariners here in Kitchener. From a broadcast partner, Joe Todd, and everyone at Conestoga Digital Network. I'm Kyle Smith. So long for now from Kitchener. We'll see you at 1:30 for the gold medal game.
Final line score for the Delisle Pride, there were 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 8 men left on base. For Nova Scotia Select, they had 1 run and 4 hits, no errors, 4 runs left on base.